Hey, what's going on? This is your host, Prince, with Self Education Radio. And just to keep going with the topic of children, what a lot of parents miss out on when they have kids is because they try to transplant the adult world and what we have to face as adults into the child's life. And the thing is, when you have a kid, it's actually an opportunity for you to relive your childhood again in the society that we're in. And everything is way more advanced. It's not like we all have to spend hours in the field grazing just to get some food to eat. You know what I'm saying? There's other ways to get food to eat, and we can spend most of our time doing the things that benefit us and help us grow the most. And that's the kind of attitude you have to have when you're having a child. The thing is, most parents are so busy and so caught up trying to teach their children everything, trying to implant everything that the world has put on their shoulders to their children. But the problem with that is, your kids, that's not what your kids are here for. Your kids are here to be a change element. You know, the cycle of death and rebirth, or if you believe in reincarnation, whatever. Well, what it means is that energy is never destroyed. So when I die and pass away, all the information, all the experiences, and all the stuff that I've done, you know what I'm saying, is pretty much bottled up. Within the personality, you have all the stuff from my history, from my past, from people before me that was inflicted on me. It's still bottled up within me. So the level of change that I could create and achieve is limited by that fact. Which is why I have to eventually die, and that information has to be dispersed. All that work has to be dispersed to other people so that it could grow in new ground that's not limited by everything that came in the past. And that's what your children are here to do. So when you have children, you're not supposed to bog them down with all the bad and negative things that happened in our past. What you're supposed to do is actually fill them with the best things that we've accomplished, the greatest things that we've been able to do so far. And they could take it to a whole nother level than we can, because they're not limited by the psychological trauma or whatever else that we've had from the growth process. See, a lot of people say that humanity is screwed up and is getting worse. In reality, if you look at the numbers, humanity is getting better and better as we go. Crime rates are dropping, and everybody's getting more educated, literate, more connected. The problem is, most of us in this generation, we still have habits, and our subconscious was programmed in the time when the world was not the same. So we all have our fear instinct, and our subconscious is programmed for a whole different world than what we're actually living in. And this is this process that's been happening throughout all generations. So each step of the way, each generation had things that they improved on, but since they were stuck in their habits before they had those improvements, they can't really take advantage or let those improvements go to full course, which is why you always need new generations to come in and replace the previous generation. You see what I mean? So when we are having a new generation and our children, we have to understand that process. And what slows humanity's progress and growth down tremendously is the fact that most parents don't recognize this. So what they do is they will pass on the same negative trends and histories that we really don't need anymore. We already outgrew those, but it's all still ingrained in their personality because it's a habit that they acquired over the years, and it's hard to get rid of that habit. It's hard to let it go. So the thing is, when you have kids, you have to understand that you have a lot of stuff within you that's pretty much fucked up. And you don't want to let that bleed into your child if you want to see a positive change in the future. So the only thing you should let bleed over to your child is the most positive, the most innovative, and the latest changes. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to bog them down with the same shit that held you back, which is what most of us end up doing. And the main excuse most parents have, you know, for why they did certain things wrong when they were raising their children, is they will tell you, well, that was just what was done to me. But don't you understand, if it was done to you and you acknowledge that it's something wrong, you can't turn around and then keep doing it and expect something to change from it. That doesn't make any sense. You see what I mean? So in this video, all I wanted to point out is the fact that most parents are missing out on the very fun process of having a fresh human being with a fresh consciousness that's not held back by all of the past prejudices. So you get to see what the human consciousness would actually look like with the best of what this present society has to offer. Not what was offered back in the 50s or the 60s or when you were growing up, but a new image and a new vision of what is possible. You have that with every child you have. And most parents, the vast majority of them, do not take advantage of this. And that's why a lot of cultures get held back, especially in the black culture, because we are too busy making ends meet, paying the bills, that we forget about our kids and we just pass them on to other people to do whatever they want to them. And we have almost no influence in the process whatsoever. You see what I mean? We have to get over that. Everybody has to get into that process, take over that process, and help mold the future to what you want to see through your own piece of the future. See what I'm saying? Thanks for watching this. Your host, Prince Avery with Self Education Radio. I'm out.